We are prepared to analyze various relevant aspects concerning the Steelers. In this evaluation, we will discuss the reasons that led the organization to decide on trading a talented player. The goal is to clarify the true reasons behind this choice. So, I will also explain why I don't believe the team is actively seeking other players as potential substitutes. Additionally, we will explore more aligned options in receiver negotiations, where it seems that the team has already consulted another franchise. I will reveal which players might be on the target list. As we move forward, I will highlight the most probable candidates to be considered to fill the gap left by this trade. Before delving into today's topics, it is important to mention that a recent report gained significant attention on social media, accumulating a substantial number of reactions to its video about the trade. Our current goal is to surpass that mark. The information I gathered suggests that the presenter of this report mentioned that the competition for reactions reflects the impact of the trade itself. Therefore, if you want the team to succeed in this negotiation, it is crucial to show your support in a positive way. Recently, I noticed an increase in discussions on social media regarding the trade, with many expressing confusion about the decision to trade a talented player in exchange for future picks, especially at a time when the team seems focused on immediate results. There is a perception in the community that this move could signal a potential phase of restructuring or transition, especially with the departure of the mentioned player. However, the truth is that the team is still focused on immediate victory. One might question how this trade aligns with the mentality of winning, and that is a justified inquiry. The reason the team opted for this trade is clear. There was a lack of confidence in the player's ability to maintain the professionalism necessary as a receiver. Analyzing the moves this season, we noticed that the team did not dismiss its coach, invested in stars, and brought in a veteran who was nearing the end of his career. These decisions do not indicate a strategy of restructuring. Additionally, the retention of other important veterans on the team reinforces this idea. The pursuit of an experienced player for the quarterback position shows that the intention is to remain competitive. All of these actions suggest that the goal is to win this season. The reality is that the team could not rely on the mentioned player, who was traded due to a lack of commitment to schedules and the necessary mindset to be present and contribute to the team's success. At a crucial point in the past, his lack of punctuality became evident, highlighting the difficulty of relying on his presence and the appropriate attitude in the work environment. During the Kansas City Chiefs game on Christmas Day, it appeared that he had been late, right? The team simply could not count on him to maintain the appropriate mindset consistently, which made him a less valuable member of a team striving to be a champion, in addition to not contributing effectively at this level of competition. The challenges they faced were clear, weren't they? Delays in meetings, practices, and games exposed punctuality issues. The information about these problems spread widely at the start of the offseason. Moreover, his attitude and body language were full of negativity, something noticeable. This was evident during his time in Pittsburgh, where he showed discontent on the bench and in many situations provoked conflicts with opponents during moments of frustration. All of this resulted in a lack of effort on the field, which particularly displeased the head coach. Upon revisiting the tapes, it became clear that a player wasn't giving his best on several plays per game, whether blocking on offense or running routes, especially when he realized the ball wouldn't come to him. The effort simply wasn't there. As a result, the team could not rely on him, which ultimately led to his departure. However, this does not mean the team isn't looking to the future. They're definitely preparing to build something lasting, while also striving for success in the present. At the moment, they hold an impressive set of draft picks for the 2026 season. They have 3 selections in the 3rd round, 2 in each of the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds, totaling 12 picks available for 2026. The reason for accumulating so many picks for this year is the need to secure a new franchise quarterback. Whoever it is, whether Drew Aller, Geno Smith, or even someone like Archie Manning, it's still unclear who will be selected in next year's draft. However, the team is ready to select their future franchise quarterback in the 1st round, equipped with the necessary resources to ensure they land their top choice for the most vital position on the team. At this point, the question is, who will stand out in the next draft? The team is preparing to select their new franchise quarterback next year, possibly in the first round. And now they have the essential resources to move forward and ensure they can choose the player they want for the most important position in the game next season. Moreover, with 12 picks available, they have the opportunity to use one of them to negotiate the acquisition of a new wide receiver, replacing the one who left, and creating a new partnership as they prepare for the 2025 season. It was recently mentioned that it would be surprising if they didn't bring in another wide receiver this offseason. Therefore, the team still has tasks ahead. They believe they can replace their current wide receiver with a player who meets expectations, someone who can fill a solid role as the number 2. This time, they are looking for a professional they can rely on, something they didn't have in the previous experience. If you're wondering how this affects another player, it wouldn't be shocking if that athlete was aware of the trade situation, especially since he has been training with another player recently. It was reported that he has worked with this player several times this offseason, while he didn't have sessions with the previous one. This is something to consider, as he likely knew the previous player would be traded. Additionally, a possible reason why he hasn't signed yet could be that he is waiting for the team to decide on their next wide receiver before making a decision. Now, at this point, let's explore the latest rumors about the team's wide receivers. I'll explain why I don't believe the team will make deals for the players who've been mentioned regarding them in recent days. But before we proceed with the discussion about wide receivers, let's talk about the receiver we know will be on the field next season, and you can acquire his new team jersey. Recently, there has been much discussion regarding the team. Before I delve into the analysis of the wide receivers, it's essential to highlight the athlete who will represent the team in 2025, DK Metcalf. His new jersey with the number 4 is already available through partners. By visiting the indicated website, you can support the channel while enhancing your wardrobe with a stylish piece. With the purchase, a portion of the profits will help fund the channel. Therefore, if you're interested in acquiring a jersey and wish to contribute financially, don't forget to visit the website to secure this addition to your collection. Now, observing the situation, I consider Tyreek Hill and Brandon Aayuk to be the 2 most relevant names that have appeared in the past 24 hours as potential targets. However, I see both scenarios as quite unlikely at this point in the season. The main reason I believe a trade for Tyreek Hill is a remote possibility is that the management and coach in Miami are under pressure and probably want to keep Hill on their team. Furthermore, there's no real incentive for them to trade Hill before June 1st of this year due to the significant financial impact it would cause, potentially reaching nearly $30 million in cap space. On the other hand, if they wait until after June 1st, the impact would be only $10.8 million. Thus, if the team is interested in Tyreek, they will need to wait until after June 1st to consider a trade. However, I doubt the team wants to wait that long, especially since there may be another pending situation that would help define their receiver group composition. The uncertainty remains about the team's decision to wait until June to finalize a trade for their new top receiver. Regarding Brandon Aayuk, a local radio commentator recently stated that the 49ers would be open to negotiating Ayuk's contract. This reignited conversations about a potential trade involving the player. However, the commentator seems to misunderstand the complexity surrounding Aayuk's contract situation with the 49ers. One important aspect to consider about the improbability of a trade this offseason is that nearly $48 million were fully guaranteed in roster bonuses starting April 1st. The 49ers were exploring trade options for Aayuk before these bonuses kicked in. However, now that we've passed April 1st and the 49ers are responsible for this guaranteed amount, it doesn't make sense for them to part with the player unless they truly want to move forward and are willing to deal with significant dead cap space in the following years, essentially giving Aayuk to another team on a minimal contract for the next 4 seasons. This decision simply wouldn't be logical for the 49ers. However, the 49ers are genuinely open to trading him, the team should seriously consider the possibility of acquiring him, as Aayuk remains an exceptional route runner and fits perfectly into the offensive system, besides being an affordable option since the team will still carry the signing bonus when Aayuk renewed his contract. along with the roster bonuses that began on April 1st. Therefore, the team wouldn't have to deal with the financial burdens tied to the contract. As such, Aayuk becomes an extremely viable option for the next 4 years. If he is indeed available, the team should be actively assessing the possibility of making a trade to bring him in. The years 2025 and 2026 began on April 1st. Therefore, the franchise doesn't need to spend any money related to this athlete's contract, making him quite accessible. It's viable to count on his presence for the next 4 years. If he is available, the team should seriously consider bringing Brandon Aayuk in. However, due to the financial situation, it seems unlikely that the team will reach a consensus. So, if Tyreek Hill and Brandon Aayuk are no longer options, what are some more suitable alternatives for wide receivers to replace George Pickens? There are indications that the team is looking at players from the Green Bay Packers, as according to various sources, there have already been recent contacts regarding receivers from that team. The two mentioned players are Romeo Doubs and Dantavon. Wicks. Both are relatively young receivers. Wicks entered the league in 2023, while Doubs made his debut in 2022, giving him some experience alongside Aaron Rodgers. Of the two, Doubs seems to be the priority, as Rodgers truly values his skills. He managed to develop a good relationship and connection with Rodgers in his rookie season in Green Bay. If the goal is to find someone who is an excellent route runner, has good physical attributes, and can make deep receptions, Doubs becomes a notable option. The shoulder connection Rodgers and Doubs established in Green Bay in the 2022 season was really impressive. Therefore, if the aim is to find a player favored by Rodgers, Romeo Doubs is believed to be the ideal target. Now, it's relevant to discuss the most feasible solutions for the team's receiver position. Doubs is undoubtedly one of the highlights. It's believed the franchise recognizes him as a young receiver who can be a long-term asset. They aren't looking for someone more experienced. He is an excellent route runner and has already worked in an offense that requires blocking during plays, something typical in Green Bay. The chemistry he has with Aaron Rodgers is an additional factor that could help the team justify Rodgers' stay. Furthermore, they aren't opting for someone older. The focus is on a player who stands out as a route runner. He has experience in an offensive scheme that demands blocking, a typical requirement in Green Bay. The connection he maintains with Aaron Rodgers is an attractive element. Moving forward, it's important to mention a possible free agent in Keenan Allen. 2 years ago, Allen had a remarkable performance, being considered one of the top 10 receivers in the league while playing for the Los Angeles team. Although he is aging and had a below expectation season last year, it's essential to consider that the offensive situation on his new team was quite complicated. Therefore, even at 33 years old and with a concerning injury history, he remains an expert route runner. He possesses a high understanding of the game and a determined attitude, making him the ideal veteran presence the team would seek if they truly want to win quickly. Now, I'll highlight a high-quality receiver who continues to show his value. Like another notable player, he was a true number one in the 2023 season, but faced a decline in the following campaign. Despite that, he still has an impressive physique and demonstrates excellent route running skills. Although he faced some difficulties with dropped passes last year, he remains an exceptional football player and would be an excellent option as a number 2 for a team that needs his abilities. Finally, I will mention another athlete who has passed through 2 teams in the league. He stands out in blocking during running plays, making him a player worthy of attention. A coach would certainly value his skills in this aspect and the effort he continually shows. Moreover, he represents a significant threat on longer plays, which would be beneficial if the team needs a solid vertical option. However, his performance in short and intermediate routes still needs improvement, and considering his size, his hands could be more reliable. The next player I'll mention is also a receiver. As previously stated, it seems that a particular team might be more inclined to acquire another athlete due to some connections, but this player is big, physical, and runs adequate routes, although he has a slight problem with drops. Even so, he certainly aligns with the goals the team intends to achieve from a schematic standpoint and stands out as a blocker in running plays. Moving on, I will bring up another notable name, You might be thinking that this player recently stated he isn't leaving, but the truth is the team might opt to trade him if they wish. If a certain team approaches with an acceptable draft pick offer, he might end up in a new location, regardless of his personal preferences about the situation. I believe he would likely accept it, especially given his strong connections. I suggest that he is probably the last name on my list of likely solutions, as another player stands out as the best option. Other names also deserve mention, such as a promising player from another team who has shown interest. He is exceptional after the catch and creates a significant threat on long plays, as well as being an excellent receiver in screen situations, especially bubble screens. Other starting wide receivers may be cut, especially with the rise of a young player. Another solid option as a number 2 is known for his strong blocking in running plays, reliable hands, and the ability to make tough catches, in addition to being skilled in running routes. There was interest in a specific player during last year's trade deadline, particularly after a recent acquisition. Given that this athlete is likely approaching the last season of his career, would a certain team consider trading him for a low draft pick? This is certainly a situation worth watching. Furthermore, there is another player to consider. Last year, there was significant interest in a specific player during the trade period, especially with the arrival of another talented figure and the possibility that this athlete was in his final season in the league. The question arises regarding the feasibility of trading him for a late round draft pick, an aspect that certainly deserves attention. Another player to be watched represents considerable. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The Pittsburgh Steelers have officially confirmed the arrival of TJ Watt, marking a major step forward for the team's defense. A long-anticipated move, Watt's addition brings a wealth of talent and experience that could reshape the defensive dynamics for the Steelers in the upcoming season. Known for his explosive athleticism and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, Watt is considered one of the most dominant pass rushers in the NFL today. TJ Watt, who previously played for the Wisconsin Badgers in college, has quickly developed into one of the premier linebackers in the league since being drafted by the Steelers in the first round of the 2017 NFL Draft. Over the years, Watt has become synonymous with hard-hitting tackles and game-changing plays. His ability to disrupt offensive schemes has earned him numerous accolades, including a handful of Pro Bowl selections, a place on the All-Pro team, and a reputation as a force to be reckoned with on the field. The timing of Watt's confirmation couldn't be more crucial for the Steelers. After a challenging season last year, where injuries and inconsistencies on defense led to uncharacteristic lapses, the team is looking to solidify its defensive unit and reassert itself as a playoff contender. With Watt now officially part of the squad, the Steelers' defensive lineup is expected to become more formidable, providing the team with a key asset to build around in their efforts to return to the postseason. Watt's impact on the team extends beyond his on-field prowess. His leadership qualities and work ethic have been highlighted by coaches and teammates alike. The Steelers are confident that Watt's presence will not only enhance the pass rush, but also provide mentorship for the younger defensive players, helping to elevate the entire unit's level of play. The arrival of TJ Watt also positions the Steelers in a favorable position as they aim to compete in an increasingly competitive AFC North. With key divisional matchups ahead, Watt's skills could prove to be the difference maker in close games. His ability to apply pressure on opposing quarterbacks will be crucial, especially when facing elite quarterbacks within the division. As training camps begin and the season draws nearer, Steelers fans have every reason to be excited about the prospect of TJ Watt in their lineup. His signing is a clear statement from the organization about their commitment to returning to prominence, with a defense that can match the best in the league. For Watt, this is another chapter in a career that promises to add more highlights to an already impressive resume. And for the Steelers, it is the dawn of a new defensive era. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.